It's gonna be what it looks like. Snowman. All right, welcome back to the channel. We're picking up where we left off with the Christmas gift videos. So the last time we made a charcuterie board, this time we're gonna make a snowman. Just decoration, put around your house or whatever. The best logs to use are some with really good bark. I don't have any of those. Like I said, all dead ash behind me, but we'll work with what we have. Birch would be amazing, you know, with the paper birch with the bark still on it would look really nice. But you can use any kind of logs you have. You ideally would like to get 3 different size logs if you can. You know, otherwise you could shape one of them down or something if you want. So I've got my larger one as the base. I've got it clamped into the bench right now. What I'm going to do is plane it flat, just so that it sits flat on one side. You can use an axe, you can use a big file or some big rasp to get that kind of flattened out if it's not completely round. Ideally, you'd like to find a log that has a nice flat spot on it. This one does. It's kind of round and then kind of flattens out right here. We're just going to take that side and use it to our advantage and flatten it out a little bit more, just so we don't get any wobble or anything on it. Then I've got a smaller round there, and then an even smaller one for the head. We'll use that for the head. It's got a little bit of a nub there, but I don't know if we'll use that to our advantage or not. That might just go towards the back and kind of round around the side, but it'll kind of stack them like that. And then just to top it off, I cut like a little slab off of another log that I cut for a different project. It doesn't have to be straight, doesn't have to be perfect or anything, or perfectly level. This one's kind of a wedge, but it kind of gives it more character, I think. So I got that, and then a smaller little piece. Put it on top. We got a top hat, you know. So you got Frosty's hat, kind of chilling there, you know. And you can make it, figure out which way works for you, which angle looks kind of cool. You could even kind of go off to the side a little bit or something, and we'll do something for a face and stuff like that. But that's the plan. Get yourself a dowel. You can use branches as well. So you can use just tree branch and kind of trim it down a little bit to fit a hole if you want, or you just, you know, the ideal way is just find some wooden dowel at your local hardware store, cut it down to length or whatever you want, and then drill a hole. That's how we're going to connect them. That also makes it a little easier to tear it apart at the end of the year, or at the end of the season, end of the year, I guess, end of the year, New Year's, whenever you want to take your Christmas decorations down. You can kind of tear them down and stack them a little nicer if you want to. If you don't want to tear it down, a little bit of wood glue in the hole when you put the thing in keeps it locked in permanently. So however you want. Oh, wrong way there, Mateo. Wrong way, Mateo. So this was the first plane I ever bought. It needs a major tune-up, but I bought it at the same swap meet that I bought that number 4 that I recently restored from. I believe I bought this one for $20, which is good, but I did kind of a mild restoration on it when I bought it. The handle, the tote's still a little bit loose on the back. The frog's way out of shape because you can see I've got the I've got this way out of whack just to keep the blade straight, so it's twisted in there. The blade's probably not straight, but I polished a little bit and sanded it up. It wasn't in terrible shape, but like we've got a little wobble in here and stuff like that. But I used the original coating still on these knobs, and it's kind of chipping off in spots. But I would say this one is probably early 30s as well as the other one, so it's a nice big brother to the number 4. So let's kind of flatten off one of these sides. I'm betting that's pretty close. Not too worried about square or anything like that, but we got a bit of a belly in it. Yeah, let's keep taking that down a little bit more. Let's see if we can get rid of that. All right, let's see what we can do here. Take this off the clamp. Try not to break my foot in the process. Okay. That's better. It's a little more wobbly or side to side than I'd like, but front to back's good. No. Do I like that? No, I don't. Perfectionist in me coming out. I'm going to turn a 45-minute project, an hour project, into 6 hours because I'm a perfectionist. So I bought supplies today for some other projects that I've got coming up. I bought a wood burning tool that looks pretty cool. It's got a bunch of different bits and stuff with it, or tips to burn stuff in. And I bought these letters, kind of brand things to put in. I don't know if I have a use for these, but I saw them and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get them, because what if I want to burn my name into something? But I might have an idea for these too. So I got those coming up. I cut this log earlier. I'm gonna cut this into a bunch of little slabs and make a wreath out of it for Christmas. And I bought some corresponding like black letters to glue on, like spell Merry or Xmas or something on it. I don't know, making it up as I go. This piece I got from when we made the charcuterie board, and I liked it. I don't know why. It's just a thin piece of ash with a little bit of a live edge on it. So this has been sitting out on my bench outside for the past couple weeks now, and I keep looking at it and thinking about it. I think I'm gonna plane this kind of knife edge off of it, flatten it down a little bit to maybe this cut, make it across, and then I might paint it like an old aged white and kind of rough it, age it up a bit, and keep the live edge, and then make it into like maybe a sign or something for the holidays, maybe. So I got that, and then I cut this slab when I was cutting this log, just a 1-inch slab. My chainsaw, I think my bar is bent, so all my cuts are coming out on angles, but I can leave this side as a flat face and try to flatten this rougher side out, which will make it look like this. And then I'm probably gonna epoxy fill all of the cracks in it, and then I'll sand it. And then I bought a clock arm, so I might turn this into a clock. That'd be kind of cool, right? I thought so. And then what I'm thinking is, if I do the clock, what if I burn, I don't know if I like this idea or not, but what if I take these letters and I burn like 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 might, well, one's over here. 12 might be too big, so maybe not the letters. Unless I do 12, 3, 6, and 9, and then maybe make notches. I'm not sure. I also thought about if I smooth this, if I carve like the time increment, just like lines, like something like that maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. And then I also bought, I'm gonna do another video I do every year, is candles. I make kind of my own beeswax candles, give them to people. I mean, Christmas gifts and stockings and that. So I'll show you how to make your own candles. I bought cedar wood wicks and some essential oils and beeswax and some cool tins this year and labels. So I'm gonna brand everything now, Mateo Outdoors. So somebody, however much wax I have, because I don't think I bought enough wax to be honest, but however much wax I have to fill the amount of tins I have, could walk away with their own Mateo Outdoors scented candle. I mean, who doesn't want that? See, this number 5 has got, it needs some love. I've got to give it a good restoration, but I don't know if it's worth filming because it's basically already kind of restored. It's just tuning it. Maybe I make a video on tuning it. There's a lot of them out there that are way better at this stuff than I am. As far as tuning it and stuff goes. If you are interested in hand planes, I would say Paul Sellers on YouTube is probably like the godfather of Stanley hand planes. He's got a lot of videos out there on fixing them and restoring them. Rex Kruger is another great, if you're getting into woodworking. So Paul Sellers makes just amazing, beautiful furniture. Rex Kruger, I think I'm saying that right, Kruger, is he makes really good videos for like getting started, like entry level into woodworking. He's got some really great videos out that kind of teach you kind of this, everything behind it. He makes a lot of cool projects. He gives all his plans for sale. I think he's got a Patreon account where he gives you the plans for free and stuff for everything he makes. I've learned a lot from him or his videos. Paul Sellers and Rob Cosman are just magnificent. I really strive to be half as good as any of them one day. I'm all about traditional woodworking. I don't like using a lot of power tools. Yeah, this whole side needs to come down a lot. I don't like using a lot of power tools. I have them and I use them, but I want to get more into using more, oh, that thing probably took a big dip on me. I want to get more into using traditional methods and building out. What's going on here? Wrong direction. So I want to get more into building more traditional techniques of woodworking. For some reason, that calls to me. I love that old school kind of woodworking. There we go. It's got a little wobble, but stable enough. Okay. Probably just blew out all your ears too, yelling. I noticed in my videos I talk very quiet, and I believe that's a mixture of two things. One, when I'm in the woods, I tend to be a lot calmer and quieter. And the people that know me know that I'm also have a loud side of me too. I get excited about things, I can get loud and talk a lot. But in the woods I'm quiet. And notice on my videos are quiet, so if I have these like loud outbursts where I do get all excited and loud, and your volume's turned up because I talk quiet, I'll probably just blow all your ears out. And if that is the case, I apologize. Okay, so this wood is good. The bark's a little soft, but that's okay. It just gives it character. So we're going to drill this out. I'm debating if I do it old school style, because I just had this big speech about not using power tools, want to do traditional. I can pull out the bit and brace and drill a hole that way. Or do I get my Forstner bits in my power drill and just drill it? Come on, Matt, do it right. Show them the old school way. All right. So this is our flat bottom. You roughly want to be somewhere in the center. So we'll come about to here, we'll clamp it. Okay, so I get my T-square out. I just want to, it doesn't have to be perfectly square. I just kind of want it to line up a little bit of where we want to be. So kind of squared off there. We'll say right around here, center. So another spot is that. That's going to be our face. So I want to be like that. They are roughly the same thickness, so I want to be. Actually, they're almost exactly the same thickness, which I was just eyeballing stuff out there, so good on me. So that means that our log is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches. So we'll go down 1, 2, 3, which that was pretty close. So right there. I bought this box probably 3-4 years ago. It is a complete set of bits. So there's a thing called a bit and brace. These are the bits. These are like old school drill bits. Now they're not all the same set, but they've all been kind of pieced together. I am missing one small one. And some of them are a little better shaped than others, like this one here is there, but it's pretty much toasted. So I need another one. So actually I need 2 of them, but for the most part they're here. So what we're gonna do today, so these are like old school drill bits. How they work is they've got a threaded end on the side that kind of acts like a screw and will screw into the wood, pull itself into the wood. And then these fins on the side kind of score the wood so that you don't have a ton of tear out. And then in here, are the blades that actually cut the wood. So it goes on this, which is the brace, considered a brace. So it's an old school drill, essentially. It's hand-powered drill. So like I said, you can use your power drill for this and just a regular drill bit or a Forstner bit. So this essentially locks in there, tightens down just like your modern day drill bit does. We'll get those out of the way and then find our mark, push in a little bit, and then you can see this, kind of put your body weight into it and just turn it. And you'll see right there, it starts cutting. You don't have to use a ton. If it starts getting a little clogged, you can kind of screw it backwards and let that stuff kind of clear out. We want to go in this bottom one probably 2-3 inches. 2 inches should be enough. So right now we're about a knuckle deep. So we want to go down to right around here. So we're getting there. That's how fast these old school bits can drill, you know. It does take some effort. Especially with a bigger hole like this. Smaller ones obviously drill a lot nicer. So we're up to almost our second knuckle there. We're in 2.5 inches, plenty deep. More deep than we need. So that is the bottom log, which is pretty much done. You can leave it just chainsaw roughed. You can sand it if you want. Sand the face of it, leave it natural. It's up to you. So what do I want to do? All right, so we said we are 2.5 inches in. If we go another 2 inches, that'll be 4. We don't need so much on the other side. So 2.5, another inch, 1.5 inches. So if we cut this off at 4 inches, I can do math. Not really. Don't say that. We'll get our Dazuki saw out. And there we go. And there you have it. All right. Come down, where's center? Center's right there, roughly. We'll come down 1, 2, 3. Right about there. For all my Canadian friends. Okay. Put your bit up. Line up your point with your point you want to drill. Make sure you're fairly straight. You're not way down here or coming out up here. You want to be fairly level. Try to keep it straight, put some body weight into it, and then start drilling away. We want to go in at least 1.5 inches. You can go further in, but you're just making more work for yourself. Okay, so we've got our hole cut. I got my workout for the day because reasons. I like the torture. So this is our bottom hole. I did misspeak earlier. I misspoke earlier of having 2 holes in each one. The bottom one only needs 1. You're sitting pretty. And then the third one will go up here. We got to drill those still, but we're starting to look like a snowman. right? So I think what I'll do is I'll come back when I get all these drilled, but that's eventually, that's going to be what it looks like. Snowman. So, yeah, I think I might even leave these loose. I'm not sure. I'm going to think on it, but we're not done yet. So we're going to drill the holes, get all this done, and I'll come back when I've got all that looking like this, but like pegged together. Then we're going to put arms on them. We're going to maybe put a nose on them. We'll see. Might put a nose. I've got a smaller bit, so I wonder if I can get that in there. Cut a piece of dowel for a nose, maybe? Whoa. Good reflexes there, Mateo. And maybe put a dowel nose. Like, what if I imagine this is his head, right? Pinocchio. Cut a smaller one, put it in there, glue it in, and maybe like point it, look like a carrot. 3D carrot nose. Maybe. And then I wonder if I have some buttons laying around. If I could find some old black buttons and just tack them on for eyes. The nose, we'll see. All right, I'll be back and drill the holes. We'll be back. I'm rambling at this point. All right, we're back. It's a few days later, but again, stuff, happens. So I have all of the pieces bored, holes drilled, and then I went through and kind of glued just one side of each of the dowels in each spot. So essentially, if you did want to take this apart, you don't have to worry about losing these. So these are glued in there fairly solid. I didn't glue the head, one in the head, because I actually have it glued in the, I got it glued in the hat. So, and then I kind of took the hat and just took a little bit of like flatback black spray paint and just kind of give it a little bit of color, just because it doesn't all have to be wood. You can paint this thing white if you want, but just a little bit of black. And then I carved out a nose and had my daughter paint it orange for me out of just more of this dowel material. Just drilled a little bit in there and it fits in there pretty snug. So I think that's good enough. No even need to glue it. So we got us a nose. I looked all over the house for buttons. Couldn't find any, so because I wanted to do some button eyes, but for now we'll just use, I've got some brown felt, we'll just cut a couple circles in it and make that our eyes for now. So kind of straighten up here a little bit and then we'll get it assembled. I also went out and just found a couple sticks out in the woods, cut them down to just long, maybe a little thinner than the thickness of a pencil. This is maybe a pencil thick. And just find some with some natural notches in them, some, and then just nip them off, and we'll make these our hands. So I took the middle piece, essentially, and just took a normal drill bit and found roughly a little bit higher than center. And you can drill in on an angle. You can drill multiple of these if you want to. And it'll give you the ability to kind of lay it out however you want. Straighten this out. So essentially just took a bit, drill a hole through, and that gets you where you're going to put your hands. So the hands just kind of set in here like that. And you twist them in. You want it to be a little firm. It can be loose, just if it's looser, just go a little deeper, and that way it'll lock in. But you can put multiple holes, so if you don't want both hands up, if you had a tighter fit, you can have one looking down, one sideways, however you wanted to do it, really. It's up to you. You can have one pointing down if you get it in there tight enough. So those are going to be our hands. We're pretty much ready to almost assemble him. We're just going to cut some eyes and get the eyes in out of this felt. We'll just cut some circles out of that, get those stapled on for now, and our snowman will be ready. So I'm going to use a 1-inch socket and just put it on the felt here. I've got this fabric cutter, but I don't know if that's going to work the best, but I can't find my X-Acto knife right now, so this is what it is. Probably should have been a little closer on the edge, but maybe this will work. No way did that just like cut a good circle. We've got a little bit more here. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. That'll be a good little eye. All right, cool. Spray adhesive, I can probably spray on there. And survive. There we go. Okay, so we'll just take that. That's our bottom. So this is our first eye. You can probably hot glue this too, or if you want to use felt, that's fine. You can hot glue it, or you could staple it, which I think I might do. Super glue, wood glue probably. Should have cut, you know what I should have done? You could totally do. Is take the same dowel that you're using and just cut off like a, I don't know, 1/2-inch piece or something. Drill a tiny hole through it, cut off a little 1/2-inch piece, paint them black, and you make your own buttons, right? And then you paint them black, drill a little pilot hole so you don't split it, and then just drive like a little finish nail in. And you've got some nice eyes, which would be cool. Why didn't I think of that? Oh well, that's fine for now. So, like I said, it's up to you how you want to decorate this thing, and how you want it to look. I think I've got, do I have staples in my staple gun? Probably not. I do. Thought I used them all when I did the outdoor the bush coverings, planting coverings. All right, so I'm just gonna put a couple staples in, one in each, just to kind of finish it. Ooh, and that put it on an angle, so now he looks like he's a pissed off snowman, which is I think it's kind of cool. I'd maybe go in a different direction if you want a happy snowman. But I'm weird like that. All right, so we've got our base. Next up is gonna go our middle piece. I'm gonna just shove that under there for now. So again, like I went with the unglued version so that you can take it apart and flip them down and stack them when you store them. But you know, you can do this. Get a little better view. You can do this however you want. If you want to glue them, you can glue them in so it's one solid piece. It just might make it more cumbersome to move around. After a year or so, this is gonna, or a couple of years probably, a year up in your attic, if it's like, if you're in hot summer, we'll dry these out pretty quick. And it will become a lot lighter than what you start off at. So then we're gonna put our head on. And we'll put our hat on. Oh no, our hat is too long. All right, we need to cut. I didn't measure this earlier. Shows how I'm just kind of winging it here. We need to cut off roughly a ½ inch. Now he should set on there just fine. And finally, to wrap it up, put our one hand in and our other arm. Which way do I want you? I want you like that. And you got a snowman made out of logs. This is him. So like I said, you can, this is as far as I want to take mine. I like kind of the more natural look of the logs and just kind of look like it was built with logs. You don't have to do this look either. If you want to take it further, what I was thinking earlier, you could take your draw knife, which is, well, if you had a draw knife, or you could use just your carving knife if you wanted to. But you could take a draw knife, which is this, you know, kind of two-handled thing, and clamp your log down to your base, and you could come through and like carve the edges and kind of, you could either chamfer them or you could round it over. You could use a spoke shave like this and come through and kind of round those edges out so it's not so square. And it would kind of, if you did it on both sides, it would kind of almost look more like, you know, snowman ball, you know, things that they're built with. So you could totally round those out. You could paint this all if you wanted to. You could paint the whole thing white. You could leave the bark and just paint the faces white. You could sand it and stain it. You can put, you know, weather like Thompson's water seal stuff on here to seal it if you wanted to. Like I said, I like more of just the natural. I let it gray and weather over the years, but like this thing will last a long time. You know, you can put it outside, and if you're, it's kind of modular, right? So if your sticks, if you break your hands off, you just go out next year and get some new sticks, and you can have different hands every year. I thought about making like a broom for him. For some reason, I think Frosty the Snowman had a broom. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to think back to like when I was a kid in the cartoons. Did he have a broom? Maybe not. He had a pipe, I bet, too. We could totally like drill a hole and make a little pipe for him, but maybe he didn't have a pipe. I don't know. But you could put buttons on. I thought about tying a ribbon around his neck, like a Christmas ribbon, to make it look like a scarf. I bought some stuff. That's over there. I bought some stuff for the wreath project that we're gonna do. That is just like, you know, like Michael's, that looks like just like festive evergreen things with cranberries and stuff. You cut a little piece off and kind of hot glue it to his head, his hat, and just make him however you want to decorate him. So yeah, so this is our snowman. I'll show you this one, and then I'm gonna bring over the one that I made. I made it. I don't know if I can get over there. I made it like 2 years ago, so he's kind of dried out for sure at this point. I'll show you him. So we'll just leave Frosty there. He's good and solid. He ain't going nowhere. He weighs a damn metric ton right now, so nobody's gonna steal him without working for it off your porch. And there is no amount of wind that's going to knock him over. If it does, you got bigger problems. So this is the guy I built 2 years ago. I kind of like my new guy better, but I built him a couple years ago. I was still learning at the time, but I basically cut 3 logs all from the same tree. So you'll notice in the beginning of this video, I went to 3 different trees to find different size rounds. You can cut from the top of the tree and just find different lengths to get the different sizes. But this kind of shows you too. He looks cool. He didn't have arms anymore, or he may not have ever had arms, to be honest. And I just took a piece of orange felt for his nose with 2 buttons. And I got the little, you know, thing I was talking about for his hat. But this guy definitely looks meaner now with the staples in his eyes, but more of an evil snowman. But yeah, this is him. So he'll see how it weathers. So this is the same type of wood. It's ash, but it had bark on it at the time when it fell. So, you know, that bark looks cool. At this point, all the bark's kind of fallen off of the ash trees in the back, so we don't get that bark anymore. But he's whiter right now. He's a lot brighter of wood because he's fresh cut. So he will eventually kind of orange up like this guy a little bit. You'll get more of the tan color than the white. But yeah, that's our snowman. So I would probably suggest going the button route for eyes, because I mean, while that's there, he looks super mad. So I might pull those staples out of there. He looks kind of pissed off right now, but maybe that's the look you're going for. That'd be kind of cool. So that's the end of the snowman project. As far as I'm going to take it, you know, if you're making this for someone, build it however you want. This is kind of the base, right? So this is the base look of it, how to cut the logs, how to pin it so that it stays solid, how to flatten out the bottom so that it doesn't rock on you, cutting your arms, how to drill the holes, make your hat, and stuff like that. You can decorate it from here however you want to do. Like I said, put a ribbon on it, put stuff in his hat, you know, give him a broom. Frosty have a broom? Give him a broom and a pipe or whatever. You know, it's up to you. You can round the edges. You can paint the whole thing white if you prefer it to be white. So take it from here and have fun building your snowman. If somebody does build one by watching this video, I would love for you to send me a picture of it somehow. You know, so email me or something. I think my email's in my bio for YouTube, or post it on Instagram or something. I would love to see your version of how you built it. Or if you have one already that's kind of like this, and you know, I'd love to see it. Let's see your snowman. So one last thing before as I'm cleaning up the workbench here. Today, when this video comes out, is my birthday. Today I turned 40. To be the cliche YouTube guy, the only thing I want from you all that are watching this is to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and to like this video. I really appreciate that, and that'd be honestly the coolest thing ever. I'm trying to build this channel up. I'm trying to bring more content, so subscribe and like. That lets me know that you like this kind of material or type of content, and I'll continue making it. You know, I'm trying to experiment doing a bunch of different stuff, all kind of outdoor themed, but you know, whatever. I appreciate everything that you guys do and watch and like and comment and subscribe and stuff. So it means a lot to me. So I appreciate that. So that's it. See you in the next one.